Hi everybody, Tex-Mex here. Thanks for joining me for another video. It seems that December has become my revolver month, specifically my Smith and Wesson revolver, since I am doing another Smith and Wesson revolver video, and this one is on the Model 10. Now the Model 10 is a K-framed revolver, and they've been in production since 1899. So these have been around for a long time. Not the specific revolver, it's just the model. The Model 10 seems to be I don't know what would be a good comparison. The Mauser, you know how the Mauser bolt action sort of became the firearm of the century, and that's what was used in multiple wars. That's the same for this. It was used in World War I, II, Korea, Vietnam, Gulf War. They're still used by the police all over the world. It's just a very, very popular revolver. And although it's made in many calibers, the most popular caliber is the .38 Special. Unlike the J-frame, these are 6 shots, and although these specific models also have the exposed ejector rod. Now, originally, the Model 10 was known as the military and police, and there's lots of history on Model 10s. I mean, there could be a complete book just on the Smith and Wesson Model 10 about all the iterations it's gone through and the history of the pistol. But in the late 50s, it's when they finally became the Model 10. And this one is a pre-Model 10 based on my research. And I was able to find that out because typically the models are stamped right here as far as the model number. This one does not have the model stamp there. It does have some other number stamped around it, but I found out that some of these numbers aren't even the serial numbers. They're just part numbers. And so this one was probably either very late 40s or early 50s production right before they started becoming the standard Model 10. And now this one here is a Model 1010. Let me see if I can see that. And you probably can't see that in this camera, but the model is stamped right there. This was a police trade-in that I purchased used quite a few years ago. I believe it was an Australian police trade-ins, and I liked it a lot because I like the smaller grips with the rounded butt here. The rounded butt grips, they just feel good in my hand. I think back then they were selling them with the rounded, and they had some of the squared grips, but I was able to get one of these. The square grip looking very much like this one, and you can tell, I mean, these guys are almost just twins other than the barrel size and the shape of the grip. And let me show that to you here. So if you see there, they are amazingly similar. They are both double action 6-shot .38 Specials. They both have fixed sights. Once again, they both have the unshrouded ejector rod. This is how you eject the shells. And see what we see here. It's completely empty, so you can fire this in double action. Oh, it's nice and smooth. Probably saw a few rounds through it over in the Australian deserts. At least my imagination likes to think so. And you can fire it as well in single action. And that's a relatively nice trigger there. And same thing here with the pre-Model 10. Let's check it again, make sure it's empty. The exposed ejector rod. Relatively light double action on this one. It's very comparable to the 1010, but a much lighter single action. Yeah, extremely light single action. It's very, very nice. I had to clean this one up quite a bit. It had a little bit of rust on it. It was kind of grimy when I got it. Now, other than the grips, they're also different in the fact that this one has a much heavier barrel and this one has a thinner barrel here. The heavy barrel does help. You know, it makes it front heavy for certain. They're both 4-inch barrels, but this one's much front heavier because you can see how much thicker that is compared to the pre-Model 10. That has its advantages and disadvantages. Disadvantages being weight. This one is balanced better. However, this one probably shoots a little bit nicer. And I'm going to find out because I haven't shot this guy yet. I've put a few rounds through this one, but I haven't put any rounds through this one. And it's been a while since I purchased this one. This one I mainly bought to help train some people and friends how to shoot. Model 10 .38 Special is just a good gun for training with these smaller grips. It fits in many, many different types of hands. And it's just a fun pistol to go out and shoot. So what I'd like to do is go to the range and see how they compare to each other in double action and in single action. And we'll do a little battle of classic versus modern. Maybe not necessarily modern, but more modern. Anyway, let's go ahead and head outdoors. And here we are out at the range. So let's go ahead and put some rounds through both of these guys. It's a little bit breezy this morning, so I apologize if the wind is being picked up on the microphone. I've got my target set up down there at about 15 yards. We're gonna fire this, I got some Federal American Eagle lead round nose, 158 grain, 38 special rounds. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fire each in first in single action mode and then double action. I'm not sure which one I'll shoot better. You know, both have pretty well worn springs. You know, the Pre-Model 10, this is a 70-year-old pistol. I have no idea how many rounds it's seen, but I assume it's seen a few. This one, the Model 10-10, as I said earlier, is a police trade-in from Australian police. So I'm certain this one has had quite a few rounds through it. I'm not sure if I'll shoot better with a rounded grip versus the squared grip. If I had to guess, I think the heavier barrel here will probably help me stabilize and get some better shots off with the Model 10-10, but who knows? Let's figure that out. And here we start with the Pre-Model 10. Take 6 single action shots. Okay, that's 6. And now the Model 10-10, or 10-10, 6 single action shots. And that's 6. Okay, and let's take a look at our targets here. I'm going to cast my shadow to make it easier to see the bullet hits. It looks like I hit significantly better with the Pre-Model 10. I kept them all in the center target here versus the 10-10 that got a few in the 9 and the rest here in 10. The only reason I could think that I'm doing a little better right now with the Pre-Model 10 is that the Pre-Model 10 has a significantly thinner front sight blade, and that sort of allows for more precision shooting. It helps me center it better when looking through the rear sight versus the Model 10-10. But you know, just to make sure, let's go ahead and fire 6 more rounds out of each in single action mode and see if I continue to do better with the Pre-Model 10. Okay, this time I'm going to start with the Model 10-10 first, and put 6 rounds into the center. That's 6. And now the Pre-Model 10. And that's 6. Let's go take a look at our targets. Well, with 6 more rounds, it seems like it's starting to even out a little bit. I still kept most of the Pre-Model 10 rounds on center target, a couple that I hit out. And it looks like with the Model 10-10, I kept them all, at least all the newer shots in the center target. I will say that that heavy barrel, it's starting to make a difference. As I fire more rounds through this, it's so much more comfortable to shoot the heavier one. But it's not that the Pre-Model 10 is uncomfortable, but the weight of the barrel does tame that 38 Special quite a bit. So now let's try some, I guess, try them in double action and see how they do. Okay, now we're going to try on double action. We're going to try the Pre-Model 10 first. And that's 6. And now the Model 10-10 in double action. And that's 6. And here we are at our targets. I'm going to use my body mass, my large body mass here, to try to shade the targets. Makes it a little easier to see. We have the rising sun behind us. You know, now that we fired 12 rounds through through single action and 6 rounds through double action, it looks like they both did pretty much the same. The more modern Model 10-10 seemed to group a little bit better as far as the center, but let's see here, we got 2 on the line and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 outside in the 9 ring. And I think that's the same for the Pre-Model 10. We got 2 on the line here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 outside in the 9 ring. As you can see, the group seems a little bit tighter on the Model 10-10 versus the Pre-Model 10, but both did very well. As far as the round grip versus the square grip, I hate to say it, but I think the square grip felt more comfortable. I like those round grips, but the square grip I think is a little more comfortable. That being said, the heavy barrel on the 10-10 made it much more comfortable to shoot, and if you were firing many rounds out of it, that heavier barrel does really help tame that 38 Special. Plus, if you were trying to get quick shots off double action, that heavy barrel is going to help you get back on target faster than the smaller pencil barrel of the Pre-Model 10. But anyhow, it was a fun shoot. 38 Special revolvers, always a lot of fun. It's a great round that is very friendly for female shooters, younger kid shooters, and anyone who just is somewhat recoil sensitive. So thank you as always for joining me for this video, and I will see you all in the next one.